The first week of August in Paarl is a very, very special one, and it's because those two teams will be locked in a derby as they have done for many, many years. Good afternoon and welcome to a rather beautiful Paarl, where we've just had 5 parachuters flying in, low-flying planes, a band, and believe me, plenty of other things too, to create the interest here. Well, I was chatting to Kobus Visser, who's one of our fellow SuperSport commentators. He's not here today. He was at Paarl Gimnasium, and he said, you know, this match, you never know what's going to happen. Any team can win on the day. It's not about form. It's about the passion that exists amongst these boys representing their respective schools. They know what their responsibility is as they come out alongside each other in traditional fashion.
And both these sides coming off good wins last week. Paarl boys accounted for Rondebosch Boys High School after being down after 35 minutes. They came back to win that 39 points to 20, while Paarl Gym ran right against Boelan Lampo. So the form book is looking good for both these sides, and let's hope that it's a free-flowing open game. And of course refereed by Jonathan Kaplan, who's had over 1,000 first-class games. It's quite incredible for a ref to be involved in this occasion, and I'm sure he'll relish the day.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better referee for the day. Just he loves doing schoolboy rugby, Jonathan Kaplan. And our first up team sheet will be the visitors, Paarl Boys High. And we mentioned Thomas Tutoy, their captain. Of course, he's also in the South African school side. Look out for Charlton Jonas at number 6'2". Also lots of experience, and he'll have his work cut out along with Piero Passerini and Charles-Francois Tutoy, the loose forwards. This could be a really critical part of this match today, the loose forwards on both sides. Now we're just waiting for Paarl Gimnasium, who will do their traditional haka. Well, their haka is a little bit more passive, and I don't see too many tongues coming out. But nevertheless, they're ready now, and that's their team, as you heard from Gareth Wright, coached by Christoph Lotte and captained once again by Rikus Botma, who's also the captain of the SA Schools team. Look out for Jacques Vermeulen alongside him at number 7. He's a big boy, very, very talented. And in there, also in their backs, Wyatt Murphy, an important match for him to see if he could ignite some very, very talented backline players.
And you saw on the reserves bench Ryan Wursthuizen. He's been out injured for the majority of the season. An incredibly talented centre who is back in the fray. An SA Sevens player at junior level that won the gold medal in Australia earlier this year. And hopefully he'll get on the field to the latter part of this game.
Stefan Gous with the ball at the moment, as we'd mentioned. So it's a pretty deep kick in this from Stefan Gous. Well fielded there by Jacques Vermeulen. And the first charge down there of Brendan Nell's kick. And this time finding a little bit more latitude to get that out, and pretty much up towards the halfway line.
He got a second bite of the cherry to Brendan Nell after that initial charge down, but he's found a very good touch on the far side of the field. And there's Jonathan Kaplan, one of the more experienced refs in world rugby, and fantastic to have him out here today.
Just getting his communication sorted out. So first line out of the match, and it goes in favour of Paarl Gimnasium, but they've knocked on. Jonathan Kaplan playing advantage, there wasn't any, so we'll have the first scrum of the match.
Well, this is the ascendancy that Paarl boys will be looking for from the missed line out. It goes over the top. And unfortunately for Paarl Gim, they just knock at him. But that front row of Funameva, Brits and Atoy weighing in at 339 kilograms, unheard of at schoolboy level.
Bind.
Paul de Wet with a put-in.
Scrum.
All-important scrum this for both teams. See if they can get their ascendancy strong enough that, and over standing very flat there was Stefan Gous. The good tactic to get over that advantage line against a very, very big and powerful team.
Leave him, leave him.
De Wet through the hands. Curtly Grain and Luan Boshoff at centre will also be looking for opportunities from the centre position for Paarl Boys High. De Wet. They're pretty defensively aligned now. Devop Nordia is not able to control that ball. Here comes a chance. Fairbridge is quite heavily brought down. But this is a great attacking platform. Wow. What a big hit that from Thomas Totoy. So that's going to be a penalty to Paarl Gimnasium, and this is a good start for them.
Sides. Over. Just stick that in, bud. It's coming out twice already.
Well, it all came from a massive hit from Thomas Totoy. Unfortunately, diving over the ruck
Sorry?
was his namesake, Charles-Francois Totoy. And it's an early opportunity for Paarl Gim's Grant Hermanus to get points in this game.
Yeah, he scored 50 points at the Craven Week this year, did Grant Hermanus for Western Province. Another man who's been picked in the South African school side. I think from week to week he doesn't really know where he's going to be playing, because he's played on the wing, he's played at centre, multi-talented.
Well, very versatile players, Grant Hermanus, and he's got a deadly accurate boot. He'll bring it in from right to left and expect him to slot this.
Well, the wind is a little bit downfield, maybe just slightly from right to left, just slightly so. So Gareth Wright suggesting that he would start it round about the right-hand upright is probably quite wise. Perfect camera angle. There we go. He's absolutely slotted it.
Good start for Paarl Gim. They absorbed the early pressure from Paarl boys. And now they've got the early lead, and I'm sure that's exactly what was on the menu for Rickers Bortman's men.
See, there's a change there with Willemse off at the moment. Jaco Willemse, the lock forward for Blood. He's playing in the position that is normally held by J.D. Schikkeling and Stefan Gous. So that's gone straight out, and it'll be back to the halfway line, and another good attacking opportunity. I think this is very useful for the Paarl Gimnasium side. If they can get their pack organised here and the right platform for them, they can really attack well from this scrummage.
Criminal from Stefan Gous, inexcusable. His pack won't be thanking him, but it's opened up the blind side for Paarl Gim, and look for an 8-9, 15, 14.
Got Grant Hermanus lurking in the back line from the full-back position.
Closer, please.
To create their extra space.
Get right in. Front row, get right in.
The real space is on the right-hand side there.
Well, there we see the pack weight. It's not really too much in it, but Paarl boys has the ascendancy in the front row.
Too low, head and shoulders. Head and shoulders.
Jonathan Kaplan suggesting that you've got to make sure that you scrum with your head and shoulders above your hips. Can't get lower than that. That's very often the reason why a scrum would go down. And one of, Luan Boshoff making sure with the penalty kick. I guess one of the things that Paarl Boys High would want to try and do is dominate territory.
And just suck those big forwards in. Here you see the penalty at the scrum. head and shoulders below the intended mark.
So set pieces, very, very important in this match.
Onside.
De Wet with the long pass. Again in the midfield, when you can have these big forwards rumbling it up, it's more than useful. Down from Stefan Gous. And carried up by Charles-Francois du Toit. 2 du Toits in the Paarl boys high team. Gous. Again, you can see Thomas du Toit. Boy, he's a big fella. And into the back line, Dante van der Merwe. From the full-back position, De Wet thinking about going in field. Well, someone's put their foot into touch, so they'll either come back for the line-out, or there could be a scrum for that ball being knocked on by that man in picture.
Yeah, knock on, scrum green.
Well, the tactic is clear from Paarl boys. They're going to move them laterally, but Paul de Wet, unfortunately, just not being able to switch there with his right wing, Dewald Nordia, and he's handed Paarl Gym an opportunity to exit their red zone.
Crouch.
Now, Brendan Nell
Bind. Scrum.
has got Grant Amana standing way back for the kick here, potentially, but it goes out wide now instead. They've set the platform well here at Paarl Gimnasium. They've got 2 options now to go left or right. So lots of time for Amadas. That was very, very well executed. That's a great kick downfield.
Great execution by Paarl Gym. Wayne Fasaki trucks it up under his paws again. Grant Amadas a better angle, and he's found a useful touch down that far side of the field.
Play on. Roll.
Well, De Wet's done well just to get that out. It was a bit of a difficult situation. And another penalty, this time the other way round.
Well, it was a laboured attack from Paarl boys, and there the captain, Rikus Botma, has all the rights. He's on his feet. Good body position, stolen the ball, and Paarl boys penalised for holding on. Hermanus is going to have a kick, probably about 52, 53 metres on the angle. And after his first kick, you wouldn't bet against him knocking this one over.
Well, he's got a little bit of a breeze behind him, which probably encouraged the decision to have a bash. So Jojo van der Spy also looking like he's battling a bit. Short run up here from Amanis. Have a look at that, close on 60 meters as the eagle flies. I'll tell you what, this eagle is flying, isn't it? He's pumped it over.
What a strike from Grant Amanis, nearly 60 meters, and that just lifts his side. You can see the body language of Paarl boys. The heads have dropped slightly, and Paarl Gym are 6-0 ahead in this game.
I tell you, that sends out a message, doesn't it? It's a massive kick, that.
Roll out!
Nobody wants games to be won on penalties, but if Hermanus has a say in it, well, anything's going to happen. That shot from Yellen, carried up beautifully by Brendan Nell. Little basic knock-on.
Well, there we have a look at the possession stakes. Paarl boys ahead on 58% to that of Paarl Gym's 42.
I want you to stay closer to your hook on their ball.
But
Because he's coming
Paarl
through.
Gym who lead them on the scoreboard. And there, Kobus Visser sitting in the crowd, an ex-Paarl Gym scholar.
Crouch.
A World Cup winning lock as well.
Bind.
And on the bench is Jasper Visser. He's hoping to get his chance for Paarl Gymnasium today.
Same again.
So they'll go down again. That scrum being controlled there by Jonathan Kaplan.
There you go.
just not getting the hit. And it looks like Gavin van der Berg is getting the better of Francois van der Merwe.
Also not a small lad, Gavin van der Berg.
Crouch.
111 kilograms, and he's only 17 years of age.
Break up. Okay, all front row in. I've given you enough chances now. Everyone in. Everyone in. Come closer, please. On their ball, you make sure that you're outside in. Okay? Closer, please. Closer. It's not working. Closer. Crouch. Bind. Scrum.
Good management by Jonathan Kaplan. And he's given them the opportunity now. Will Grant Amanis have a bash from here? I tell you what, distance-wise, this is probably closer to 65, 70 meters. No. Instead, it's going to be Brendan Nell to kick, also a very solid touch finder.
Get your tight head to bind on the outside.
Well, here we see Francois van der Merwe not binding on the outside. And Gavin van der Berg, he's got a nice straight back as a loose head. And he's managed to work his side into a favourable position deep into the Paarl boys' half.
Throw in from Volna Conradi.
Free kick numbers 6-5. 6-5 numbers.
So they had a problem with the numbers there. They were not equal in the line-out, and of course that's a free kick. Taken up there by Botma. Murphy quickly through the hands. Wano Fasaki was part of that mix. Just didn't quite get the rhythm that they were looking for. This is Jacques Vermeulen. That'll be another penalty. Surely referee will maybe bring them back if Wano Fasaki doesn't make enough headway. Well, they know. Do they know that there'll be a penalty?
Be careful on that side. Be careful.
No, there you heard from Jonathan Kaplan. He said, please be careful. So not penalising Paarl Boys High for exactly what happened to them early in the match.
Well, here's Wano Fasaki. Just unfortunately, Charlton Jonas watched a clean out coming from Paarl Gym. But Paarl boys at the moment, they just look very laboured on defence. They're not getting off the line. They're not making those first-time tackles. And they're losing the collisions against this heavier Paarl Gym side.
Yeah, the breakdown points we suggested might be really quite important in this game. But I'll tell you what, this crowd is enormous. You know, they talk of 20,000 people being packed in here. I'm not quite sure if it's that, but it's absolutely jam-packed, and there are so many old boys from both schools that come down. Of course, the town is split in two, and I don't know if there are many people at home, to be honest with you. They're all down here being part of this great atmosphere that involves the learners, involves the old boys and old girls, of course, bearing in mind that there are a lot of people. And so plenty of singing too, and just keeping that tradition high. We're in great weather, we have to say too. We've been very blessed with that.
There you see the first half territory stats, really not too much in it. But the whole town comes to a standstill, and it's a wonderful week here in Paarl.
I think one of the enjoyable things too is that this is a fresh experience, this match, for all but 5 of the players. Only 3 from Paarl Gym and 2 from Paarl Boys. I played in this derby last year. That's a massive kick downfield from Stefan Gous. It was everything that Paarl Boys High wanted. In fact, it was Luan Boshoff, not Stefan Gous.
Just keep an eye on those offsides.
And so refreshing to see the torpedo punt coming in. It gives you extra distance. He struck it cleanly, and he's carved off a good 50 meters.
Volna Conradi, who worked his way up the ranks too when he was playing under 14 rugby. He was down, I think, in the C or D team. Well, this is great ball, this for Paarl Boys High. Little turnover for them, carried up by Detroit. DeVet. Players looking to try and offload in the tackle. Dante van der Merwe is uncharacteristically knocked on. Also got great speed, this youngster from the back.
Well, here's a knock-on from Van der Merwe, who also made his way into that Western Province Cravenwick side. But the tactic is clear from Paarl boys. They're hitting it in the middle, coming back from the short side, trying to flummox Paarl Gym. And there you see ex-Springbok loose forward Tiaan Strauss, who also represented Australia at the '99 World Cup.
And part of the Mega Pro machine these days, helping to organise this match. It's not a great ball that for Amanus.
Touched!
Now that's touched one of the Paarl boys' high players. So everybody's on side. Van der Merwe. De Wet with the long pass. Gous. See very few opportunities for Furlan Vers. Hasn't really been a winger's game as of yet. Paarl boys really look useful when they start driving up, but it's basic errors that really are probably hurting them, giving away penalties and free kicks. And well-organised defence from Gimnasium.
Roll away!
Well, everybody believed that it would very much be a battle of the two packs of forwards. This is Charlton Jonas. Well, when a ball pops out like that, very often there's a bit of suspicion. But they're moving into the 8th phase now of Paarl boys high. Can they get through?
Roll out!
De Wet, the long pass onto Francois van der Merwe.
Lost.
And another long pass. Well, we spoke about basics and knock-ons that you don't want part of your attacking foray.
Charles Francois du Toit just knocking it on. Paarl boys look rudderless on attack. They've run out of ideas, but some stoic defense from Paarl Gym and keeping them at bay. They've absorbed the early pressure from Paarl boys. And Paarl boys have got no excuse. It's perfect weather conditions. They're just making too many elementary errors in this opening 20 minutes.
Well, one of those errors are missed tackles too. Both sides struggling there.
Crouch.
8 from Paarl Gym, 7 from Paarl boys high.
Scrum.
But no tries in the matches of yet. Remembering we're playing 35 minutes each way at school level. So it's 5 minutes shorter than what you'd be used to at first class level.
Last the footer.
Amanus. It's another massive kick downfield. But territory-wise, he's only gained about 25 meters. By his standards, that's quite low.
And he looks rather disappointed in that kick. He's a hell of a talent, is Grant Amanus, and really excited to see how he kicks on in the professional era.
So we weren't too far off then. 16,500 people in to the Forest Street Stadium today. Close quickly through the hands. This is better play, this from Paarl boys high, looking for space. And Devon Nordier unable to take the pass. I don't think Paarl boys high want to look back on this match and say, guys, you know, our opportunities, we didn't take them.
Devon Nordier just having a look up at the cover defense coming across. And that's 4 handling errors apiece.
So handling errors along with tackles missed are 2 things that both these teams will be a little bit worried about.
Crouch.
So far, the scrums for Paarl Gymnasium have looked strong.
Out.
They have another one. Good control at the back. And then the big boot of Amanus.
Yep.
Tell you what, this man can punt a ball. He can kick a ball, full stop. Huge distances. Dante van der Merwe's kick. That's a dangerous one because his team are all offside. Brendan Hill senses that and just rushes up at them. This is not a team that you don't want to... You need to get your kick spot on against Paarl Gymnasium. Strong work from DJ van Niekerk. Oh, it's another penalty, and it's very kickable.
Tackle assist.
And Gavin, that all came from a massive punt from Grant Hermanus, put the pressure on Paarl Boys, and it was DJ van Niekerk who had a bollocking run upfield, but unfortunately Piero Passarini didn't realize it was a ruck, and he's infringed, and referee Jonathan Kaplan has penalized him, and it's another opportunity for Grant Hermanus to increase this lead.
Well, one thing we know for certain, he's not going to be short in distance, that is. Such a confident kicker. 2 penalty goals to boot. I'll make that 3. Another wonderful kick from this young man who's so multi-talented. Plays at fullback, plays at centre, plays on the wing, kicker in the side. South African schools fullback. Now Stefan Gersel want to get this kickoff right. Goes a little bit more shallow on this occasion. This is for Saki. Now space found. The chip and chase from Hermanus was not ideal, but what a great tackle from him. And immediately up on his feet, contesting the ball at the breakdown. Referee playing advantage. Not much that White Murphy could do with it. And he knows about the penalty, so... Or rather
Isolated.
Yep, so here's another opportunity for Hermanus.
Well, it came from a poor restart from Paarl Boys. Found space in the middle of the field, and it was Hermanus' searing pace who got him into this position. Paarl Boys holding the ball on the ground, and that's a 4th penalty in a kicking area for Hermanus. Look at the pace of Hermanus, pins his ears back. Initially I thought the chip and chase was the wrong option, but he did oh so well to catch Dewald Nordier up on his feet, contesting for the ball, and he's won inside a 4th kickable penalty.
He's having some game, isn't he? There's another big kick. Nearly 44 meters. Well, this one has pushed, he's pushed it, he turned immediately in disgust. Just showing he's also quite human. Isn't that a wonderful shot? Just have a look at that. Paarl Hill or mountain in the background, just framing this town and this delightful old stadium here at Forest Street. Oh, what a good catch. You can catch on your back. I tell you, Brendan Nell is making a real nuisance of himself from the base of the scrum. He's running far too much, I think, for Paarl Boys' highest liking. But they creating or giving the space to him. Here he is again. Huge from Gavin van der Berg. Just knocked the players off. Murphy. Bueno for Saki.
Lost blow!
Certainly better attacking quality ball that Paarl Gimnasium have had in this match thus far.
Well, Paarl Gim are just out muscling Paarl Boys at the moment, winning the collisions, winning the breakdown. Here you see Botma. There's a massive handoff coming in.
On the outside, okay.
And that's all Paarl Gim at this stage.
Lead.
Well, Paarl Boys want to get out of their half of the field.
Fine. Scrum.
How does that come? Devet's
Take the
under
bind
pressure
one.
at scrum time, but Stefan Goos has the opportunity. Here we go. Has he overcooked that? No. Spot on from the fly half. Now their attacking platform really has to be in the opposition half. I think they're a traditional side. They have the ability up front to create the platform. And they've got some strong runners, but they've had no opportunity. Dante van der Merwe, one of them, Dewald Nordier, another.
And the fact of the matter is they're not going the same side all the time, is allowing Paarl Gim's defense to realign and hit them in the collisions and winning the contact.
Backwards.
Well, the ball was left behind on that occasion by Gareth Cilliers, rather by Rikus Botma. But they are looking to spread it, and they're finding space. There's another one found. Vasaki, here comes Omanis again. It's that man Omanis. Oh my goodness, here we go. Will he make it? Over he goes. No. He scored a try. A brilliant try that from Grant Omanis.
Number 9. Nega. Call 12. 12. Huh? Call 12.
Wayno Vasaki, what a break up the middle of the field. And then Omanis, he cracked on the pace, inside, outside. See you later. And over he goes for the first 5-pointer in this derby. Brilliant finishing by Omanis. And it's Paarl Gim
when you score your points, don't do
who
that again.
have all the ascendancy.
Do you?
One of the benefits of being a long-distance kicker is that for a conversion, you can go virtually back to the halfway line to narrow the angle. He's gone a very long way back. What a day he's had thus far. Again, it's no problem for Hermanus. It's certainly been his day up to now, and I think that Paarl Boys High have got to find a mechanism, Gareth, to get onto the scoreboard.
Well, here's a break from Wayno Vasaki, timed his pass to a nicety, and then it was Hermanus, inside, outside, off that right boot, pinned his ears back, and he managed to get in for his try. But Paarl Boys have a massive mountain to climb. They're making too many mistakes, and they look shell-shocked.
Well, their forwards there were palpably in front of the kicker from that kickoff. Jonathan Kaplan with no option but to blow them up. And it's little basic mistakes like that, I think, that are putting even more pressure on them.
Thomas du Toit has to rally his troops around him. And here's the kick in front. He's about 2.5, 3 meters in front. And that's a coach's death knell.
But a pleasure for Paarl Gimnasium. Scrum in the middle of the field with options for them. They've got all these runners. This is Dylan Fairbridge up from the left wing. Big struggle for the ball there with Volna Conradi. Paarl Gimnasium holding on to it. Murphy. This is for Saki. Little pop pass. JD du Toit very much part of that mix. They're just getting continuity, and this is Jacques from Yellen. Nels pass to Gareth Cilliers. Lovely offload. Another chance here for Paarl Gimnasium. Momsen just caught in possession, but they've got numbers here. Surely, if they can work this properly, they should score. There's the whistle then from Jonathan Kaplan, just wanting confirmation from his assistant referee.
Well, it was the initial break from Momsen, and then it was quick ball put through the hands, and it was a hard-working centre, JD du Toit, who managed to get in the corner, and it's becoming a rout.
Get another one. Time is running. Get another one. Time is running. Get another one.
And our colleague Kobus Visser looks comfortable enough. You never know with Kobus, do you? He takes this game very seriously, and so he should. It's a big match, and hasn't it been a big match for this guy?
Time is now running. Okay, so you got to get the ball back quickly.
Somehow Paarl Boys have got to get points on the board. Just think it could make such a difference for them, but they haven't really threatened the Paarl Gimnasium line.
And the fact that they haven't beaten Paarl Gim in the last 2 occasions, probably playing on their mind. Their last victory was back in 2009. They start going behind, they start doubting their ability, and it becomes one-way traffic.
So the 16 points that Grant Amanis has scored thus far remains so, with that conversion going awry.
Sorry.
The quick ball again, the defense was at 6s and 7s. It was a diminutive winger, Furlan Vass, who pinched in, that allowed the pass to go over the top. Too many numbers for Paarl Gim, and a toy in for his try.
Well, Stefan Gous and his team need to get this kick in right. They've gone pretty deep with it. They're just not making those early tackles. That's the momentum that Paarl Gimnasium are feeding off. They're always on the front foot. That's another brilliant kick. Oh my goodness. Just everything is going the way of the home team.
Clinical rugby by Paarl Gim, exiting and putting the pressure back on Paarl boys. The body language of the blue and white hoop side is not great at the moment. They've got to just get through to half-time and regroup from there.
Taken by Matthew LaRue. Charlton Eunice and company really looking to try and take things up, but another penalty conceded. Oh my goodness, it's just short of half time, so probably Grant Amanis will kick here. 24 points at half time, if not more.
First man in. No, first man in, and he left and he went back in. And your line out, the scrum half, needs to move 2 meters quicker before the other man jumps in, otherwise it's a free kick. Yeah.
Here was the trucking up by Charlton Eunice. Good tackle by Momsen. And then it was Jacques Vermeulen, all 1.96 meters of him. The first man in had all the rights to the ball.
Well, he wastes absolutely no time, does Amanis, with his 4th penalty goal. And he certainly has punished Paarl Boys High this afternoon.
Well, Amal Valfart and Richard Versaki have got their work cut out at halftime. It's more of a psychological battle now. The first half's come and gone. They've just got to say to their troops, right guys, let's take it step for step and win the mini battles as opposed to looking at the wall.
Well, that's certainly a better kick in from Stefan Gous. It allowed his team to compete from the kickoff. And they have the throw in too, do Paarl Boys High. Ruan Brits. Quick throw in from him, but they've gone and lost it. So possession all important, but there was a knock on. Jonathan Kaplan says, okay, we've got enough time for this scrum. Last first half opportunity for Paarl Boys High.
Well, a number of years back in a Bledisloe Cup game, New Zealand scored 24 points in the opening 7 minutes, and Australia managed to claw their way back into it. But is this a bridge too far for Paarl Boys?
Crouch. Bind.
Well,
Scrum.
Rugby's an unpredictable game. Anything's possible.
Play.
Gous standing quite flat. Good play by him. Quickly through the hands. Now chance for Dante van der Merwe. Well, not much of one because he's closed up quite quickly. De Wet. Taken up by Francois van der Merwe. Well, not taken up very far either. It's a thumping tackle. Well, a long pass there. Furlan Vass looking to try and get into play. He's been standing on the left wing. Been a spectator for most of the game. Not by choice. Now finds himself down and he's back out of picture. But here they come again.
Roll.
They're getting the ball, but they're just not able to punch holes. And Thomas Totoy do it. Done it pretty well. Pick up from Paul de Wet. The attacking foray is just a little bit disjointed at the moment, but we've seen their capability of taking the ball through many phases. They're into number 10 right now.
Advantage.
Change of direction. Curtly Grain coming into play. Absolute last chance this for Paarl Boys High to get some points on the board. Paarl Gimnasium tackling for all they're worth, but there's a penalty here for Paarl Boys High. And with no time to play, they're surely got a kick at goal.
Just you go.
Well, they're not going to kick at goal. It's going to be a tip and chase, I think. There they go. Are they? Oh, that is so close. The key thing is, if that ball's off the ground, Paarl boys have got to get it played as quickly as possible. Otherwise, it's a turnover. There's the turnover, and a half-time, says Jonathan Kaplan.
This is the penalty that accrued earlier on, offside by the try scorer, JD Du Toit. But at 24-0, it's Paarl Gim who are looking odds-on favourite to win this annual fixture.
Well, 2 tries then to Paarl Gimnasium, and a very deserved 24-0 half-time lead.